Afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Derry, and I am the Faculty Information System Manager. Thank you all for joining us. First, what I'm going to do is give you an overview of Faculty Information System as a whole, and then I'll walk you through how administrators, committee managers, and evaluators will be using it to recruit new faculty members. And then afterwards, we'll do a Q&A session. So let me share my screen. Okay. Tammy, that's good, right? I hid my panel. We should be good to go. Okay, so our new faculty information system will be referred to as UR faculty across the university. You might also hear the terms FIS, which is short for Faculty Information System, or FIS, which is an even shorter version, or Interfolio, which is actually the name of the vendor that we purchased the system from. All these names refer to the same system. We tend to use them interchangeably, but the branded name of the system is UR Faculty. The purpose of UR Faculty is to streamline workflows, improve data quality, and basically ensure consistency across all our schools and units. UR Faculty is broken down into 4 modules. First, we have Faculty Search, which is the recruiting module for faculty. We have Appointment Management, which stores faculty appointment data. We have Faculty Activity Data, which is the database for all faculty activity. And we have Review, Promotion, and Tenure, where academic reviews will take place. You'll receive more information about these last 3 modules in the future as we continue to implement them. But for now, our focus will be on the Faculty Search module. This is the module that we'll be using to recruit new faculty members. And here are some key functionalities of this module. As an administrator, you'll be able to create a job posting. You'll be able to gather all information about candidates, their applications, CV, any supplemental documents that you need. And you'll be able to gather all of them in one place. So no more emailing candidates to gather all their documents and do it manually. You'll be able to manage the evaluation process. You'll be able to run reports on the candidate pool. Evaluators can review applications and eventually select a candidate for hire. These are the main functionalities, but as you start to use Faculty Search, you will discover more. You should have access to a PDF guide that was sent to you by the Office of Academic Affairs. Everything that I'm covering today is in the guide for you to refer to later, so don't worry about taking notes. Okay, so I am going to share my browser and give you a look inside UR Faculty. Okay, I hope everyone can see my browser. In your user guide, there is a direct link to this page. You're going to use your University of Rochester credentials, which is your username and password, to sign in. And then you're going to click on University of Rochester. You're only going to have access to our main production site, but as an administrator, I also have access to our test site, which is actually what I'm going to be using today to show you guys a tutorial of inside UR Faculty, only because I don't want to enter test data into our live production site. So I'm going to click on test site. And now we are inside UR Faculty. And this looks exactly like how the live production site will look too. So this is your UR Faculty home screen. The area in the center will show you any tasks that pertains to you or requires your attention in some way. At first, you obviously won't see anything here, but as you start using the system more, you'll see this area populated with information. So this is kind of like your notifications. The menu on the left here is broken down by modules. For now, you will only see faculty search. Later on, you'll see more modules down here as we start rolling those out. For now, you will see faculty search, and the options below are the selectable options that you have here. So as an administrator, how can you create a new position? Under faculty search, you're going to click on positions. And from here, you will click on this add new position button on the top right corner. So this is the create position screen. Here you will select the type of position, which will be faculty. The unit should already be set to the unit that you have access to. You just want to make sure that it's the correct units, the department that you work in. And we're going to leave it as create a new position. And we are going to hit create. Okay, so now we are on the basic information screen. In your guide, there are guidelines for what you should be entering in each of these fields. So I'm going to go through these with you. So the position title, let's say we are recruiting for assistant professor. The location should always be Rochester, New York. The salary range or pay grade goes here. For the sake of time, I'm just going to enter the word test in each of these fields. The open date, you want to select the date that the position will be open. You want to select either a rolling deadline or set a specific date when the position will be closed. You want to enter the position description here, so you just copy and paste it right in here. If this specific position has citizenship limitations, there is a custom statement for that, and that's included in your guide also. So you would just copy and paste that statement and put it right in this box. Qualifications go here. For application instructions, there's also a statement in your guide that we want you to copy and paste, and I will copy and paste that in right now so you can see what it is. So this just instructs the applicants to create an Interfolio account if they don't already have one. And it also directs them to email the committee manager directly for any questions that pertains to the position itself. The advertising setting, in most cases, it'll be public unless you have a specific case where the posting needs to be set to private. We will leave that as public. The EEO statement, this is our university-wide EEO statement that is not editable. So we are going to save and continue. Okay, so now we are on the required document screen. Here you'll indicate which documents applicants need to submit. So if you click on the add requirement button, you can select the type of document. So let's say we want to collect their CV. We'll hit save, add requirement. Let's say we want a cover letter. Let's say we want references. So whatever the position calls for. And then we can allow applicants to add additional documents by selecting this checkbox. And we can select send a message on application submission. If you click on insert message template and you select application received, we have a pre-drafted message template that will be sent to applicants when they apply. See these text variables here, these will be automatically converted to the correct text when the email goes out. And the applicants will not see each other's email addresses, or they won't know that other applicants are being contacted at the same time. So we will just save and continue. And now we are on the evaluation settings screen. Here you can add criteria to kind of guide the evaluators to rate the candidates on a 5-star scale. So let's say we want to add experience as a criterion. We can add things like research. We can say published work. Okay. And then we need to select if this should be a blind review or not. When blind review is selected, evaluators cannot see each other's comments and ratings, but they can see a summary rating. So we will leave this as a blind review and hit save and continue. So now we are on the application forms screen. The university-based application form is added by default. This is required. The EEO form is also added by default, which is also required. SMD does not have a custom application form. So there's nothing to add on this screen. So we're just going to save and continue. Okay, so now we want to set up a search committee. You'll see that by default, you are the committee manager, which may or may not be the case. So if you're not the committee manager, you just X this out, click on Add Manager, and choose the correct committee manager. I'm just going to choose anybody here. And then same with adding members, which are evaluators who will be on the search committee. You just click on Add Member, and then you go ahead and click on the members' names. Please note that in order for someone to be on a search committee, they have to already be in our FIS database. So if you're trying to add someone to a committee and you do not see their names when you click on either of these buttons, please reach out to me and I will get them added into our system. Okay, so we're going to do save and continue. Now we are on the position notes screen. The public-facing note will be the salary range, so it'll just repeat that information here. But when you scroll down, this is the internal notes section. And in your guide, there are guidelines for what you should be entering in these fields. So I'm just going to go through these with you. The position ID or requisition number field, we're going to leave it blank for now. When the new HR system goes live, you'll receive different instructions for what to enter here, but in the interim, this stays blank. The appointment type is also another field that we are not using. It doesn't meet our needs, so we're just going to ignore that field. The rank, this is where you enter the job code. A link to the job codes page is included in your guide for easy reference. The title, this is the intended functional job title, which may or may not be the same as the job posting title. So let's say the functional job title is Assistant Professor of Cardiology. And then for discipline, you want to enter the discipline here. The position term length, you want to enter that information here. So let's say we'll put down 24 months. Please note that this is in months, not years. Anticipated start date, I'll just select any date here. The funding source, if you have this information, it goes here. The hiring plan, this is where you would note if this is part of a cluster hire or not. Now this general notes section, SMD will be using it to convey information to the finance team through this field. There are 2 questions that need to be answered here for the finance team to review. I'm going to copy and paste them straight from your guide. So we need to let the finance team know if this position is more than 25% research and if there is a startup package associated with this position. And then also if there's a recruitment form associated with this position, that number would get entered here. So once you fill out this field with the requested information, you are going to hit save and continue. So now your position is up for review. A review workflow has been set up so that it routes to the finance team first. They can either approve it or send it back to you to make changes. Once they approve, it routes to the Office of Academic Affairs. And once they approve, you'll receive an email notifying you that your position has been approved. For the sake of this training, the approval workflow has been turned off, but what you will see up here is a notification that tells you the status of your approval. Okay, so now let's move on to what happens after the position has been approved. There are two actions that need to be taken at this point. So this is the position summary page. Once you are here, you need to publish this position. Until you publish the position is not live, and the unique URL for the position is not active. This is important because you might assume that once a position has been approved, it's live, but the system actually wants you to come in and click on this publish button. So we're gonna hit publish, and a message pops up telling you that the page has been published, and now this URL is live. You also want to update the status of the position. So you want to click on update status and select something like accepting applications or in progress, depending on what's happening with your position. And now your position is ready for applicants to start submitting applications to. So SMD already has the list of open UR faculty positions linked to HRMS, so you don't have to do anything there. But if you want to advertise on an external website, you can use this URL right here. You just click on copy URL, and you can use this URL to advertise anywhere you want. And when the candidates click on it, they will be guided to apply through Interfolio. Okay, so now our position is live. I want to move on and talk about a committee manager's role. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a position that already has a few dummy applications sent in, so I can show you what a committee manager can do once applications start coming in. So let me find my dummy position. Here we go. As a committee manager, you might want to email a candidate. A common task for a committee manager is to email multiple candidates at the same time. To do that, you select the checkboxes next to the applicant's name. So let's say we want to email these 3 applicants. So when you click on the checkbox, you'll see this red menu bar up here. And you would click on email. And this is where you can enter your email, and it'll get sent out to all the applicants, but the recipients will not see each other's email addresses or even know that other people are being contacted at the same time. This is a good place to take bulk action, but let's say you want to email a single applicant. So I'm going to deselect these. You can click on an applicant's name, and now you are entering the applicant's profile. And if you click on actions on the top right corner, you can take action from here on an individual applicant. So you can select email applicant here, and it will take you to that same screen. You might also want to request a recommendation letter. So if you have already collected references from an applicant, you can use this request recommendation letter feature, request recommendation, to send a message to the recommender asking them for a confidential letter of recommendation. So I'm going to cancel this. You might want to change the status of an applicant to help keep track of each candidate. When you're on the individual applicant's profile, you can change the applicant status by clicking change here. Let's say this person is being shortlisted. Just keep in mind that this is different from the position status. Here, you're only updating the status of the individual applicant when you're on the applicant's profile. You might want to use the tag feature to tag applicants to help you quickly identify them. So let's say you want to add a tag here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about an evaluator's role in UR faculty. So when you have applications ready for review, you want to let evaluators know that they can come in and start evaluating applications, similar to your current process. So we are going to go back to this position profile. And so let's say an evaluator comes into your faculty. What can they do now? First, they can filter this applicant pool any way they want. So here's the list of applicants. They can click on filter and choose any of these data points plus anything on the application form. So let's say you want to see all the applicants with a certain degree. We can set that filter. So let's say we want to see all the applicants with this degree, and it'll filter down to just the applicants who have that degree. We're going to clear filter now and show you how to read applications. So if you click on this little checkbox next to an applicant's name, the menu bar appears again with more options. If you click on read, this built-in document reader pops up, and here are all the documents that the applicant has submitted. You can read the application right in this document reader. You can make notes or annotations right in this document. So if you click on this pencil icon, you can point to an area and add an annotation there. You can toggle these annotations on and off using this eye icon. Or if you want, you can click on annotations up here and click on this arrow icon to export these annotations right into your desktop. This is just a good way to for evaluators to gather their thoughts as they're evaluating applications. So now I'm going to go back to the applicant profile. Just like a committee manager, an evaluator can also use tags to mark and sort applications. They can scroll down on the applicant's profile and rate the applicants on a 5-star scale based on the evaluation settings that were set up by the administrator when creating the position. So let's say for publications, we want to give them a 4-star, service 3-star, research 5 stars. Please remember that if blind review was turned on, evaluators cannot see each other's ratings, but they can see a committee summary rating. They can scroll down to the comment section and add a comment here. And again, if blind review was turned on, other evaluators cannot see these comments. They can also download the application by clicking on actions up here and clicking on download. So once an applicant has been evaluated and the interview process happens offline and a candidate is selected for hire, as an administrator, you need to come back into your faculty and indicate that to the system. So you're going to go to the applicant's profile. So let's say Joseph Baker has been selected for hire. We're going to change the status and indicate that. So we're going to select this hired status. And now the system knows that Joseph Baker has been hired for this position. You also want to go back to the position profile and add a disposition code for all the other applicants that were not hired. So you're going to go into each one and we're going to click on add next to disposition code and then give a reason for why they were not hired. Okay. So then when you are done with the search, you want to close the position. Please follow university guidelines that tell you how long a position needs to be open for before you can close it. With that considered, when you're ready to close, you're going to go back to the position profile. You're going to click on position actions up here, and you're just going to close position. And it will ask you to confirm that an applicant has been selected. And once you've confirmed that, you just hit close. Okay. Please note that if a position has at least one application, it cannot be deleted, only closed. We are almost at the end of this training, but the last thing I want to show you is what to put on that 500 form that you're submitting when you're submitting a new hire to HR. If you go to the list of positions, you'll see that each position has an ID number associated with it. And this is the ID number that gets entered into the 500 form, and it's how this position will be linked to HRMS for now. In the future, after the new HR system goes live, we'll have a new process in place where you won't have to fill out the 500 form anymore. But for now, this is the way we are linking the two systems. But you'll receive more information on, once it's integrated, you'll receive more information on that when it happens. Okay, so that is pretty much the end of my faculty search training. I think it's very clear and very intuitive to use, but if you have any questions or issues while using it, please use the user guide. It's very detailed. We also have a wealth of information from the Interfolio's help site that can help you as you're navigating the system. They also have training videos and tutorials that you can use. And if you still have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am happy to help.
So in terms of the ranges that folks are expecting to use for these, we've got a document that if you don't have it, certainly something I can send to you, so feel free to reach out to me. But essentially that provides tentative ranges, salary ranges for folks in any of the clinical departments or in any of the basic sciences groups. Outside of that, goes a little bit outside of my bailiwick and wouldn't be something I could necessarily advise you on. Generally speaking, when you go to put in these ranges, there's a couple of sort of philosophical elements that are important to consider. The most important from my perspective is that the minimum of any range for a given job code or academic rank, however you want to think of it, and a given specialty or subspecialty, it should be lower than what the current sort of full-time lowest base pay amount is for anybody that's currently working. We don't want to run into a situation where you have an assistant professor that you're hiring, and then you have a posting out there, and if that assistant professor goes and sees that that posting is higher than what they currently earn, unless there's a a very well documented reason for those that to be the case, you do want to make sure that the rule of thumb we've been using is something like 95% of what the lowest base amount in that combination of academic rank and specialty would be. On the high end, we've used the 75th percentile of the faculty comp benchmark, total compensation benchmark for a given rank and specialty. You have a little bit more flexibility on the top end. I think they're really making sure that the post is I guess competitive is how I think about it. You don't want to put a range that's where the top end is so low that somebody would see it and then not want to apply. But there's a little bit more flexibility on the top end of the range. You certainly wouldn't want to go too high on the low end of the range. If you do have questions on the basic sciences ranges, I think Jeff Bloss is probably your best contact from SMD, but for clinical departments, certainly I'm happy to help. And if you're not sure who to contact, you can reach out to me and I can work on looping in whoever would be most appropriate.